Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by for your daily Reiki micro session. Today we're doing a late edition. So we're going to start off with Reiki for 5 minutes, and that's called a micro session because a normal Reiki session with me does last for an hour. So this is just enough to give you a little bit of a taste, a little bit of a temptation to see what Reiki's all about, if it's something that you might like to have more of in your life. And there are lots and lots of good things that Reiki can help us with. But today I'm just setting it really open. I'm setting the intention for whatever's for your highest and best interest. So that could hit relationships, it could hit physical, it could hit financial areas of your life. Just whatever's for your highest and best interest is what I'm setting the intention for. If you want to set it for something more specific, feel free to go ahead and adjust that intention for yourself. And then after we do the Reiki, we'll do 5 minutes of questions where you can ask whatever question is on your mind. And I'll use my psychic abilities along with the tarot deck to come up with answers for you. So let's get this Reiki started, shall we? All right, so we're starting Reiki at 7 minutes after the hour. That means we're going to, well, 8 minutes after the hour. That means we'll finish it up at 13 after. Penny Anderson, hello, hello, welcome. How are you this wonderful evening, my dear? Glad to have you in the room. And if anybody has questions about what Reiki is or how it works, this is a great time to ask those. I'm happy to answer those types of questions for you while we're doing the Reiki. Shakoya, welcome, welcome. I didn't know who all would be here when I came on this late. Glad you're here. Today, I think I'm grateful for the internet and being able to reach people all around the world in a broadcast like this. 10 or 20 years ago, we couldn't have even dreamed of this. And now look at us. Soulless body, hello, hello. Welcome. How are you this evening? We're doing a little Reiki micro session right now. For those of you who have questions about Reiki, what it is, how it works, anything like that, feel free to throw those questions up in the chat. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Technology. Yep. We have 4 more minutes left on the Reiki. What I'm doing it for is for the highest and best good of each individual here. So that can impact you in a lot of different ways. Depends what you need the most, whether it's physical healing, whether it's emotional, relationship, financial. Question, if we don't feel the healing, does it mean it's not working? It does not mean it's not working. The Reiki does work whether you feel it or not. And I do find that typically people who are not as used to sensing energy, maybe people who don't consider themselves so sensitive or don't consider themselves empaths, or sometimes people who are, even if they're sensitive, if they're really depressed, a lot of times when people are depressed, it prevents them from feeling the energy, but it doesn't mean that the healing is not working. The Reiki is still doing its thing, whether you can actually feel it or not. Universe love, grateful for love and abundance. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here, my dear. We've got 2 more minutes of Reiki left, and I set the intention for whatever is best for each of you as individuals. Does anybody else have any questions about Reiki? Soulless body, did that answer your question? No, Reiki is not more powerful face to face than distant healing. I actually specialize in distant healing, and good, I'm glad. I specialize in distant healing, so I can tell you unequivocally it is not more powerful. I have done in person healing as well, and I can tell you that the effects have been just as powerful at a distance as they are in person. Just as powerful. Because Reiki is universal life force energy. And as energy, it's not limited by time or by space. So, because it's not limited by space, I can do just as good a job for you as if you were right here in front of me, if you're halfway around the world. And quite often, my clients are halfway around the world. One more minute left of Reiki. This furnace is fixing to kick on. I'm just going to apologize ahead of time because I'm going to sound like I'm in a wind tunnel here in a second. You're quite welcome. What I practice, Solace, is called Yasui Reiki. And Yasui Reiki, when you get to level 2, you actually learn how to do distant healing when you're taking the courses. So, like level 1 really teaches you how to do healing for yourself, for people around you, for your plants and your pets. But when you actually learn about doing distant Reiki is when you get into level 2, and that's when you get your practitioner level. And that's when you learn how to do Reiki for people who are not so close to you. Absolutely. If you go to www.amista, my first name, amista.info, info. Don't try to put a .com in there. It's not there. Just amista.info. You'll find all my contact information there. All you have to do is just get a hold of me. I've got a phone number. If you're in the U.S., then that's perfect. If you're in outside the U.S., then if you reach me by Skype, that works. Well, I feel so like right now, all of you are being held in between these hands as I'm sending the energy. And so what I feel is I pay attention to where the energy is going in your aura and in your body. So like with a group, it's hard to pinpoint who's getting actually what, but I can tell what places are being highlighted. And then that gives me a good idea of how people's lives would change who are receiving that energy in that area. So, and energy feels different when it's leaving depending what's going on. So like if it feels warm going out of my hands, then that's probably more of an emotional type of healing that's happening. If it feels tingly as the energy is coming out of my hands, usually that's healing that's coming in on a physical level. If it feels cold as it's coming out of my hands, a lot of times that is very specifically the energy healing up anger or negative emotions that haven't had a chance to be released. They've been repressed and been causing dis-ease in the body. Dis-ease generally leads to disease. We like to get that before it becomes more than dis-ease. So I don't really remember what my first experience was, to tell you the truth. It's been a little bit. It hasn't been decades or anything, but it's been long enough I don't remember my first experience. All right, so we've got Reiki wrapping that up. And Solis, if you have more questions for me, just get a hold of me. I'm happy to answer questions about Reiki or whatever as we're setting your appointment so that you know exactly what you're getting into. I think it's good for people to know what they're getting into when they get a Reiki session. Meanwhile, right here, right now we are focusing on shifting gears into psychic stuff. I'm going to look at the tarot deck. Those of you who have questions for me, go ahead and throw them up in the chat room, and for 5 minutes, I will answer whatever your questions are. And super chats, of course, are never required, but always, always appreciated. Oh, well, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. I've got a lot of content here. I do predictions for each sign for each month. I do Reiki sessions like this, and then I do like 15-minute sessions for specific things. So you'll be getting notified of a lot of videos probably. I also do instructional tarot to teach people about the tarot cards. Penny Anderson, in the year 2020, you told me my extra contact me this February. He contacted me in December, January, and February all of a sudden. What is he up to? Okay, so let's talk about some stuff before we talk about what he's up to. I guess I should set my timer too, eh? Let's talk about time. So timing for readings. I always think this is a fascinating topic, and you actually bring it up with your question. So with this whole thing about, I told you who had contacted you in February and he contacted you earlier. A lot of times what happens when I predict things in readings is that you, the client, takes a hold of that information and holds on to it and focuses on that information. Now you have the assurance that something is coming that you're looking forward to. And as you're giving yourself that reassurance of, oh, this is coming, you actually speed it up. You make it come quicker. That is where you're actually working the law of attraction by doing that. So that's what happened with the earlier contact. Let's see, in February. So this month, all of a sudden he stopped. What is he up to? What is he up to? It's not yes or no. Just ask a specific question, soulless body. Health is something I like to leave to the doctors. Try something more specific, sweetheart. Okay, so this is for Penny. What is he up to? He is making preparations. He's making preparations for something. I'm trying to feel, I want to feel into this card a little bit more before I talk about this. Looks to me like he's really focused on his finances and getting his finances in order as one thing that he's up to. I have this card that shows up here, the Six of Wands in reverse. To me, when we're talking about relationship, this means that the relationship isn't going well. This is a person that feels defeated when it comes to a relationship. They feel like it's not working out. All right. And then we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which basically tells me, Miss Penny, that you were being one way to him, and then you decided that that wasn't really getting you what you wanted, and so you quit with whatever that was, whatever generosity you were offering him, whether that was in the bedroom, whether it was financially, whether it was generous with your affection, whatever it was, you basically decided to cut that off. Now, you may not have cut off communication, but you cut off some kind of generosity that you were giving to him, and that made him feel heartbroken. So he felt heartbroken. Now he's getting prepared to focus on his finances for a while. He's getting prepared to focus on himself. Okay. Soulless body. Do you have another question besides health, honey? Anybody else have a question in here? That is a very open question. I want a specific question. Specific question. We can talk for 3 hours about what the next 6 months holds for you. I'm not fixing to spend 3 hours talking to one person here in a chat. We've got 5 minutes, and other people may have questions too. I'm surprised. Who else has questions? Usually we've got tons of questions pouring in, and I can't even keep up. Any more questions? Questions before the timer goes off? You're quite welcome, Penny. La da da da. Okay, we're going to do a message for the room then if we have no more questions. So this is for these 6 people that are in the room right now. What is a good message for them? Okay, so it looks like all or most of you are beginning something that is totally and completely new right now. Yes, it is, Donna. I think you're going to hear more about it on this. Oh, but you guys have procrastination setting in. So starting something new, but what's being blocked with this is procrastination. This new thing that you're starting is something that is a leap of faith. It's something you really don't know where it's going to take you, but you know that 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 you know it's the right thing to do. But we've got some procrastination that's coming in that's messing things up. Okay? Why is that? Well, we've got the moon showing up, and the moon for me has to do with the subconscious. It tells me that we have some old paradigms that are kicking our butts here. So this just means that our subconscious is saying, "Oh, but wait, how could you be successful? Oh, who are you to be so creative? Who are you to come up with your tarot deck? Are you special?" So your subconscious is sort of kicking in here, okay? So you've got to you've got to reprogram your subconscious, and if you don't know how to do that, let's see if Spirit says. But if that doesn't come up in the reading, then get a hold of me because I do have some ideas about that. But your subconscious is really throwing up some roadblocks for you. Yeah. And what that's resulting in is it's basically making you guys go in different directions. It's basically having you guys scatter your energy. Two of Pentacles in reverse says things are falling through the cracks. And things are falling through the cracks because this leap of faith that you started, you're adding in other stuff, other stuff, other stuff into your life. So you're not focusing on this leap of faith that you've started. And so now, guess what? Your leap of faith is falling through the cracks because you're procrastinating because of your paradigms. And so now you're scattering energy. You're doing other things too to keep yourself busy so that you're not moving forward with this particular project. All right, so why is this happening? Well, this is happening because we have the Ferelton reverse. The Ferelton reverse is saying that you're not putting all your energy and your efforts towards this one particular thing, towards this leap of faith. Okay, well, we already saw that. Coming up in the near future, maybe the present, the high priestess, you're talking to a psychic. Hello. This really does not show up in all my messages from my room, but this basically does talk about talking to somebody who would have some information that would be able to help you, who could mentor you, who could at least give you a heads up on what's going on and why you're not getting as far as you would like to with your leap of faith. So, what is the hope out of this situation? You want to be self sufficient, independent. You want to do your own thing and you want to be accomplished. So, this is hoping to actually reach that goal. Outside influence. Outside influence could be that you're feeling like, you know what, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. Pentacles can talk about energy, resources, money. And when it's a page in reverse, this is messages coming to you saying, oh, there's not enough. Ooh, we've got to pay extra on this or pay extra on that. There's not enough. So that's the outside influence. That's what your subconscious is using to give you this excuse to be scattering your energy all over the place. Hopes and fears. This is coming up as your fear. Your fear is that nobody's going to want to publish these cards. In your case, Donna, in somebody else's case, this is the fear that nobody else is going to like what I'm doing. Nobody else is going to appreciate this. Nobody else is going to want to buy my product or my service. Nobody else is going to like my new way of dressing. Nobody else is going to like whatever it is that you're starting as this leap of faith. Ultimate outcome. Let's see if you guys find a way to beat that paradigm or not. Ultimate outcome shows the Prince of Pentacles in reverse. So you need to know this is just how the energy is laying right now. You can change this through free will. Prince of Pentacles in reverse is not moving forward, not doing anything. Prince of Pentacles in reverse is giving in to that subconscious leaning, and it's giving in to this procrastination to not move forward. Overthinking, procrastination, not moving it forward. So we want to change this outcome. So to change this outcome, we have to learn how do we change our paradigm. If you want to learn how to change the paradigm, text me, call me. I can help with that. Or you can Google it. You can find that information somewhere else. But the key to change this situation is to change your paradigm so that your subconscious is not going to be blocking you. Okay? All right. So that was a message for everybody who was in the room. Like I said, super chats are not necessary, but they are appreciated. I think somebody did actually ask me a question before the timer went off. Where did that go? Let's see. Answer Donna. Will your family be moving home? Let's see. By when? Let's say, will Soulless Body's family be moving to wherever she thinks of as home by the time, it's February now, by the end of July of this year? That will happen by the end of July of this year, possibly sooner, but I wanted to leave us, I wasn't sure what time frame you're working with. But yes, that will happen by the end of July of this year, Soulless. Socialista, welcome, welcome, welcome. You can't think of anything. You're so funny. Angela Lukes, hello, welcome tonight, my dear. Donna, you are quite welcome. I have been fantastic, thank you. All right, guys. Well, I think that I have done everything I set out to do tonight. I hope that this has been helpful to all of you. Thank you for hanging out with me. I do appreciate your precious time. Those of you who would like to schedule a private reading or a private Reiki session, use the, what's the word I need? Website in the description box below to get my contact information and get a hold of me. And I will be happy, happy, happy to be of service to you. Thank you also for sharing this video with other people, especially those who would benefit from the Reiki. And I'm looking forward to the next time we have a private session. And until then, I will see the rest of you back on the next video. Everybody have a fantastic evening. Peace out.